Hello, my name is Kathy Dunn, and this is my final action research proposal for Grand Canyon University's TCH 539-O501. The title of my proposal is Improving Beginning English Language Learners' Grapheme and Phoneme Recognition. When researchers present proposals and results to stakeholders, the stakeholders want two main questions answered. Number one, why did you do this research, or why are you going to do the research? And two, how did you arrive at your results, or how will you arrive at the results? This is the why. Demographic statistics show a growing Hispanic population in the United States. The Hispanic race grew significantly between the years of 1970 and 2020. In 1970, the Hispanic population was 9.6 million, and in 2020, it was 62.1 million. When Hispanic families arrive in the United States, they have little knowledge, most have little knowledge of the English language. And when they arrive, they may be bringing school-aged children with them. As teachers, we want all students to thrive and learn as much as they can. So if students do not speak English in our elementary public schools, we are obligated to teach them, not only elementary, but middle and high school as well. More and more teachers are becoming certified in teaching English as a second language. The acronym is TESOL, and also bilingual instruction. I am one of those people. This is a summary. I have designed a research project which will serve young Hispanic students, unless there are other cultures that are involved in learning English as a second language. I will, of course, include them in everything and modify, perhaps, my thesis statement in order to serve them. I'll be using an intervention method called the Orton-Gillingham method. It was originally designed as a phonics tool to help students with dyslexia and other learning challenges. The Orton-Gillingham method incorporates all three modes of learning: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. There's a specific order in which a teacher must present this material in the Orton-Gillingham method. First, the teacher shows the letter, both capital and lowercase. The teacher says the name of the letter and the pronunciation of the letter. Then the teacher and the student say them together. The student then says them by him or herself. And finally, the kinesthetic portion is when a student draws a letter in the air with arms outstretched and hands clasped. This is from Lehman, 2015. I intend to include more kinesthetic activities, such as the use of Play-Doh and making the letters with Play-Doh, and then making a fun new animal out of the letter with Play-Doh. I will also do this with drawing. This is my thesis statement. It is unknown whether the Orton-Gillingham method of instruction will affect beginning English language learners in kindergarten through 5th grade. This is the how of my project. I will have a manageable number of participants. I am thinking 4 to 6 in each small group. I will triangulate my data to make it valid. Submitting it to Grand Canyon University's internal review board will ensure an ethical and confidential proposal. I will not veer from my original thesis, therefore making it reliable. I have 4 methods of data collection, but I will only analyze 3. I will talk about the rationale for the 4th one in a moment as I go through these data collection procedures. First of all, I will have pre, mid, and post tests. These tests come from a kindergarten benchmark in letter naming fluency. The assessment is called the Dynamic Indicators of Basic Early Literacy Skills. The acronym for this is DIBELS. It is an organized page full of random letters, both capital and lowercase. There are 110 letters on the page. This comes from Good the Third from 2003. For each of the three tests, I will quantitatively measure progress using a bar graph for each participant. The x-axis will have the date and the y-axis will have the number of correct letters. This is to measure improvement. Secondly, this data collection is my daily assessment of the students. I will be using emojis to rate the participants. I will accumulate the daily data for each individual. Again, I will design a bar graph. The last technique that I will report on is my journal. Throughout the research, I will keep daily notes in 4 areas. Number 1, what went well today? Number 2, what was ineffective? Number 3, how can I improve my instruction? And number 4, how can I improve the research? This is taken from Dewsbury, 2025. I will write a qualitative analysis incorporating what I have learned from the research. The fourth method of data collection is daily surveys that the participants fill out. Once again, I use smiley faces, and the numbers range from 1 to 5. After the research is over, I am not sure I will include this in the study because it does veer from the original thesis and would compromise reliability. The main purpose is to improve the self-confidence of the students. It could be used in future research too. These are the roles of each of the stakeholders and a timetable for them. I need to get my plan to the Internal Review Board of Grand Canyon University 5 months before the research begins. I will get it to the school board 3 months before initiation. School leadership and teachers will learn about it 2 months before the research. I will have a meeting for the parents 6 weeks before research. And students, I will meet on the first day of class. What stakeholders stand to gain? I expect the participants to improve in 2 areas. First, I believe that each student will improve in their letter names and sounds and recognition. Second, I hope that students feel more confident in their phonics ability and therefore be able to translate them to their reading abilities. The participants initially have the most to gain. Phonics is a necessary pre-reading skill. It leads to decoding letters and words. When the students are successful, they feel better about themselves. The teachers stand to benefit by having these English language learners learn phonics outside the classroom because they won't have to spend as much time individually with an English language learner teaching phonics. There is the possibility that the participants involved in the intervention may score higher on standardized tests. And it is my understanding that if you have higher standardized test scores, you may receive additional government funding. The community at large will benefit. The better a person can read, the better they can contribute to the society at large. And lastly, Grand Canyon University stands to strengthen their reputation and expand its database. These are my reflections. This project has already changed my professional practice. It has guided me to narrow my teaching field. Having taught Spanish and English at all grade levels, the design of my research and God have led me to elementary school children, specifically beginning English language learners. I enjoy working with all ages, but especially kindergarten through 4th grade. I think that I have been denying my responsibility to God. He has gifted me with the art of teaching, and I have been out of teaching, had been out of teaching for about 10 years and got back into it by substituting in my local district and remembering how much I love facilitating the learning and curiosity of students. My current research plan will affect my future practice by increasing my knowledge and usage of the Orton-Gillingham method and the Dybels assessment. I always learn something new from my students, whether it's just a fact about their life or a new technique that I have to create in order to help them understand what they are learning. I hope that someday I will refine this study enough to submit it for peer publication. This way, I could share it with people worldwide. Delusions of grandeur. Yes. The research project shows me how important research is to affect positive changes in the educational system.